There's a very interesting story in the Bible recorded for us in the book of Esther. And it's a story of the people of Israel, the Jewish nation, and about this particular character called Haman. And Haman hated God's people and specifically wanted to destroy them. And Haman, because of his evil and wicked heart, decided to conspire against God's people, against God's servant, and even went and constructed some gallows where a certain gentleman was supposed to be hanged. And I want to take just a few moments of your time and address what I have entitled the Harman Syndrome, because the Harman Syndrome is something that is with us today. My name is Mwai, and thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast. The Harman Syndrome. There are people, and I know you probably have met them, and I hope you're not one of them. People who give of themselves to conspire against other people. It could be maybe at the family front. It could be maybe in the work environment. It could be maybe in the business arena, or even just in the social circle. There are people who sometimes allow themselves to have such a toxic heart that they will conspire with others sometimes for your downfall. They will plan, they will plot, they will put stumbling blocks along your path, and it is their joy when they see you stumble, it is their joy when they see you fail, it is their joy when they see you suffer. That is the Haman Syndrome. And every one of us, we always have to do an audit of our own heart. We have to examine our own heart and ask ourselves, am I suffering from the Haman Syndrome? Because every now and then you will meet people who will not make you happy. You will meet people who you don't like. You will meet people who sometimes will step on your toes. But I have to guard my heart. We have to guard our hearts so that we do not develop that Haman Syndrome. And people who develop that Haman Syndrome will spend time plotting, will spend time putting ideas together, trying to make sure that they put a stumbling block, trying to make sure they destroy you, they get you fired, they turn people's hearts against you. You know, they will try to make sure that they assassinate your character to destroy you. If you are given to that, I have news for you, that you have chosen a very difficult path. If there's somebody right now that you're thinking about and you're thinking of how to destroy them, how to bring them down, how to put them down, or how to turn people's hearts against them, you have chosen a very difficult path. When you think of Haman, Haman thought he was on top of the world. He thought that he was going to succeed, but he forgot that these were God's people. And God protects his own. I have discovered in this life, God protects especially those who are vulnerable. You may think you're fighting a particular individual, but you're really fighting God. So this is what happens. And this is what happened to Haman. Haman thought he was having it, but a season came when the tables turned. There will always be a season when tables will turn, such that those ideas and those plans that you have will come to nothing. And God will frustrate that plan that you have against one of his own, because you cannot curse that which God has already blessed. The second thing, Haman ended up the same thing that he had plotted and he had put together and he had constructed so that he may hang one of God's people, one of God's servants. It was the same place. It was the same contraption. That thing is where Haman himself lost his life. The same thing that you conspire against other people is the same thing that will destroy you, is the same thing that will entrap you. And then finally, Haman thought that by destroying God's people, he was going to gain prominence and power, and he was going to be somebody. But he lost it all. He not only lost everything, but he also eventually lost his life. Unfortunately, friends, that when you try to get ahead by conspiring, by trying to get people out of the way, by plotting against people, this is what happens. For a moment, for a season, you may feel like you're making headway. For a season, you may feel like maybe some favor is coming your way, but eventually you're going to lose the very thing that you thought you were going to gain, because that's not how God blesses people. And if you ever ascend to a position because you conspired against somebody, it is only temporary. You will also end up losing that very thing that you caused somebody else to lose. I just want to encourage you. I know this is not an easy word, but I want to encourage you. Please guard your heart. against the Harman Syndrome. And probably if you have been a victim of a certain Haman in your life, don't fight back. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. Allow the Lord to speak for you. Allow the Lord to fight for you, and God will vindicate you. God bless you, and I know that you have been blessed by this word. Please share it with somebody else. Maybe somebody that you know is maybe going through something, and somebody who is struggling through something. Maybe there's a Haman in their life that is troubling them. Please share this word with them, and I'm sure they will be encouraged. God bless you. Until next time.